In this video, we will talk about sketching. So this is the process of defining a shape in 2 dimensions like it were a sketch on a sheet of paper. We are going to be applying dimensions and establishing some relationship between different elements of the sketch. So if you haven't already done so, create a new file by clicking on the part icon in the new SolidWorks document pop-up that's visible when you launch SolidWorks. If this window is not visible like it isn't on mine, then you can click on the blank page icon at the top here, and that will launch that pop-up for you. So click Part, click OK. We're going to double check to make sure IPS is selected, so inches, which is what we want. If it's not, click that little icon, open up the list and select IPS. So at this point, we're ready to start creating our first sketch. We're going to go to the Sketching tab over here. If you're in Features, you're going to need to change to Sketch and click the Sketch icon here. If I click that, it's going to ask me where do I want to create my sketch. So I'm actually going to click over top of the front plane, and now we've got our front plane selected. We're going to start by finding our origin, which is this L shape down here. And that's where our drawing is going to be coming from. So that's going to be the first part that we're using in our drawing. I'm going to use a line tool. I can find that up here. Left click that. Hover over the origin so you can see the orange dot. Left click there. And now I can create a line in any direction I want. But what I want is I want it to be perfectly horizontal. So once I get it pretty close, you'll see that yellow box with a line through it come up. That means it's snapping to a horizontal position. So I'm going to pull it out to about here, left click, come up to a point about here, left click, come up here somewhere, left click. Focus on, again, making this horizontal so you can see that yellow box with the line through it. And then once we get close, it's going to try to line up with our origin, which is what I want to do. So left click again. Come down and hover over that origin point. You can see the line changes to sort of a donut shape on a yellow background. Once it's there, we're going to left click again. And at this point, I've got a rough outline of my hammer, which is what I'm looking for. So I'm done with the hammer tool now. I'm going to click the green check mark over here. And at this point, I'm going to grab a fillet tool. So sketch fillet is found over here. And what I want to do is I want to add a rounded section to this corner here. You can see we've got actually something selected over here. So if you have something in this box that says Entities to Fillet, you can left click it and you can hit the delete button, not backspace, delete. And there should be nothing in that window now. So what I'm looking for is I want to hover over this point here and left click that dot when it's orange. And I'm going to go to fillet parameters and I'm going to make sure it's got 0.1 typed in. Then you can hit enter on your keyboard and then hit the big green check mark up here. So now we've got this fillet applied. So we can zoom into that. We can see it's just got a rounded point, which is what I was hoping to see. So next up, what we're going to do is we're going to add some dimensions to this. So up here, we can see Smart Dimension. So we're going to left click that. And this is going to allow me to tell the program how big that part is supposed to be. I'm going to hover over this line on the side here. You can see it turns orange. Going to left click on that, pull out that dimension and pull it out to about here. Left click again. I'm going to look at my drawing and it'll tell me that I want that height to be 1.2 inches. So I'm going to type in 1.2, hit enter, and there we are. Exactly the same thing we're going to do over here. Hover over it so it's orange, pull it down, and I'm going to type in 3.05. Hit enter. Do the exact same thing for the top line. Hover so it's orange. Pull it up. Type in 3.05. Hit enter. And now the next thing I want to do is I want to set the angles for this point to be correct. So it's supposed to be 15 degrees from here to here. So I'm going to, again, hover over this line so it's orange, left click it, and at this point I don't want to use this dimension. So I'm going to go over to that line, see how it turns orange, left click on that, and pull that angle dimension out to here. So it'll show a different number here, a different number here. So you have to be in this spot, sort of like that. Left click again, that window comes up and we're typing in 15 degrees. So 15, enter, and then do the exact same thing for this top one. So hover, left click, hover, left click, pull it out in this direction, type in 15, hit enter. Great. So at this point, we're basically done dimensioning our part. So I can also see that this whole outline is now changed to being black. And down here, I can see that it says fully defined. So what that means is that this drawing is not looking for any more information from me. I've got all the information input to create this shape as accurately as possible. So at this point, we're going to exit our sketch mode. I can click over here, and it's going to look like this. At this point, you're going to want to save your part. So you can hit the save icon, select your desktop, and call it something like that. Hit save. And there we are. So this is the end of this video. The next video is going to start from this point and talk about turning this shape into a solid.